Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Beyond the Steel Sky. Wir müssen über den Graham mehr rausfinden, für den wir uns ausgeben müssen. Da ist ja ein Ministeriumstyp da. Und die Frau will auch, dass wir so tun, als wären wir ihr Mann, weil sie auch sonst Ärger bekommt. Der Helm sieht fast so aus, als wäre er von Judge Dredd. Naja, nicht ganz. Und viel gelernt haben wir über ihn noch nicht. Er war wohl bei einer Putzkolonne oder sowas, da Supervisor. Und jetzt gucken wir mal, ob wir in seinem Terminal was rausfinden. Seine Ehe ist wohl auch nicht mehr die glücklichste, aber er hat wohl gerne Fotos gemacht, noch mit alter Technik, so mit Chemikalien und echtem Foto und so. Wo man den Hintergrund ein bisschen reingefaked hat. Minos! So. Jetzt weiß ich natürlich nicht, ob er dann hier immer was Neues anzeigt oder ob ich hier mich immer durchklicken muss.
The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I knew quite a bit about Graham's work and health, but I figured I could learn more if I found his kudos records. I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
Echt? Wir wissen jetzt
I couldn't
genügend.
access Graham's messages.
Ja.
I added that to my list of things to look into.
Es reicht auch, wenn er das erstmal einmal sagt, oder? So, sollen wir es erstmal einfach versuchen? Das ist so ein aufwendiger Schalter und dann dahinter ist nichts Gescheites. Naja. Ich frage mich aber, wie die wohnen jetzt hier. Das ist wohl das Wohnzimmer und die Frau hat da drüben ihr Schlafzimmer. Schon getrennte Zimmer. Der wollte was sagen.
Excuse me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
Naja, sollen wir es mal einfach testen.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here.
Alonso?
Monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort.
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
Ja klar, A+.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
Ja, wir haben angefangen mit B.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
Okay, sie gibt mir jetzt Zeichen, wo ich arbeite. Und ich muss drüber nachdenken, was es ist.
Nothing wrong?
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra-City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
Klar.
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
Ja, sie gibt mir einen Tipp. Ja, wir machen Fotografie. Das wissen wir doch.
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
Can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
You're not
What
supposed
can I
to.
say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Ich glaube, wir haben uns gut
that's a relief.
geschlagen.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Ich bin ja
Maybe
kein
it got
ITler.
damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great. Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling.
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham, but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Okay, neue Aufgabe. Chip reparieren.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Tja, jetzt wissen wir aber immer noch nicht, was wir tun sollen.
Something told me the fire was not authentic. Keep a smile on your face.
Also es gibt hier irgendwo noch Hinweise anscheinend. Kann man das kaputt machen? Ah, das muss ja nicht sein.
Hello, Chipworth.
Hello, Master Graham.
Vielleicht weiß ich aber was Neues.
What's this about a celebration tonight?
The Aspiration Day Gala. Madam Songbird is so looking forward to it. It has populated approximately 83% of our conversations. In fact, any time someone spoke of it, your heart rate would elevate and you would perspire, sir. Heavily.
Is that why Graham left?
Is Sir referring to himself? Or a friend also named Graham?
Do I have any friends?
None, sir.
My wife mentioned I had a contact. Any idea who that could be?
Perhaps you might ask her, sir. I fear I am not able to elaborate any further.
Songbird doesn't seem too upset about her husband.
And why would she be? The glorious Master Graham has returned to us.
Sounds like my wife didn't miss me all that much.
I'm confident Madame Songbird's affection was simply kept hidden. On the inside.
Ja, so kann man es auch sagen.
Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
Oder sollen wir ihn einfach mal in die Laundry schicken? Warum auch immer.
That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day.
Wo gibt's noch was Neues jetzt? Ich glaube, das haben wir uns alles schon angeschaut. Ach, deswegen hat er auch diese
It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls.
Landtrain-Modelle gehabt, weil er da arbeitet. Das war der Hinweis, ne? Kann man die öffnen?
The blind blocked out all the light from outside.
Anscheinend nicht. Gibt es einen neuen Punkt? Today, Ministry of Plenty, dear citizen, looking for an aspiration day gift for your loved one? Borden Beauty Salon. Keep a smile on your face. Bin nicht überzeugt. Aber wo soll jetzt was sein?
I wondered if Graham self-medicated.
Ob wir sie nochmal stören dürfen oder ob sie dann denkt, wir wollen uns reinschleichen. Vielleicht können wir einfach mit ihr reden.
In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on. I didn't think Songbird would appreciate me rummaging through her things.
Wieso denn nicht? Ah, man kann ihr was schenken.
A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing. Kevin Kangaroo. There was an empty spot marked Bartleby Bilby.
Okay, wenn wir den finden, bringen wir den mit.
Carl Koala.
Okay, Koala. KK.
Dave Dingo.
Ich sehe schon. Die mögen Alliterationen hier.
Kevin Kangaroo.
Okay, wie hat der letzte geheißen?
There was an empty spot marked Bartleby Bilby.
Bartleby. Okay.
A Detective Culls. Someone liked their murder mysteries. A trader came by our village with something like this back when I was a boy. I think he traded it for a table. Or at least that's what I had heard.
Kann ich so ganz gut erkennen.
Jasmine.
Blümchen.
The climate controls looked complicated, except for the big switch marked Windows.
Hey, don't touch that! What have I said about these windows? Keep them closed.
Kann man währenddessen irgendwas klauen bei ihr?
Jasmine.
Nee. Ach, jetzt haben wir sie schon verärgert. Will sie nicht mit uns reden?
Songbird, I'm sorry.
For what?
Tja, eigentlich für alles.
That I pretended to be your husband.
Listen, you did a better job pretending than he ever did.
What do you mean?
Look, stranger. You told me your secret, so I'll tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was. If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Dann fragen wir mal nach den Kudos.
What were you saying about kudos?
Were you born yesterday?
Let's
Yeah.
just say I'm new here.
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example, stay happy, and you get kudos.
Which you spend?
Well, kinda, but not really. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city. Simple.
So kudos is bad?
Aren't you listening? Lower. Lower is better.
Naja, über die Kinder wird sie nichts wissen, aber wir fragen mal, weil das ist ja unsere Hauptaufgabe.
Could Graham have had anything to do with kidnapping?
For both our sakes, I hope not.
What's with the Alonso guy?
Guy, I believe you're referring to Mentor Alonso from the Ministry of Well-Being. He's a high-ranking official. And we've just lied straight to his face.
Quite the team, huh?
If he knew what's really going on, I dread to think how far my kudos would plummet.
And what about me?
Arrested, deported, I don't know, not important.
Habe ich Graham schon gefragt?
Tell me more about Graham.
Why do you want to know?
I think he might have been involved in something.
What do you mean?
I came to Union City from the Gap because I was investigating a mysterious...
Oh, for Joey's sake, not you too. Blah, blah, conspiracy, blah, blah, giant dog. Graham was the perfect husband until he started getting crazy ideas. Why couldn't he just have an affair like a normal person?
Tja. Aber da hat er eigentlich recht gehabt mit der Verschwörung.
That's all for now.
Yeah, bye.
Haben wir irgendwas Neues erfahren? Ich weiß, dass sie Krimis mag, die Jasmine als Blumen mag und diese eine Puppe dann noch will. Wenn wir die mal sehen, schenken wir die sie ihr. Tja, dann. Klingeln wir beim Nachbarn.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Gucken wir vielleicht mal nach dem Mädel nochmal. Okay, was ist denn hier passiert?
The seal had been vandalized. Poor Joey. Excuse me.
Ah, Master Grundy. What joy to see Sir again after all this time. The Poet Laureate Reginald Arthur Schnippel Esquire sends his regards and/or condolences as appropriate.
How nice of you, Reginald.
Correction, sir. If one may be so bold, Mr. Schnippel is of course Sir's human neighbour. How Sir might mistake yours truly, Tarquin, for our beloved Poet Laureate is beyond imagining.
Ja, er soll doch mal was erzählen über unseren Nachbarn.
Who are you again?
Tarquin, Fidelis Mark II Domestic Savant, at your service.
So you're a servant.
Savant, please. I am a highly engineered personal aid.
Do you work in these apartments?
Of course, Master Grundy. Sir and I have been neighbors for 147 days and 11 hours.
What do you think about the graffiti?
As an artiste, I find any medium a valid form of expression. Of course, the vandalism does somewhat detract from the piece.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, ob wir wirklich nach den Kindern fragen sollen, da kommt doch nichts raus.
Have you heard any reports of missing children?
Why, no, Master Graham. If anyone went missing, I'm sure AI Officer Greta would find their U-chips.
What if they were from outside the city?
Well, surely AI Officer Greta would find them by their newly implanted U-chips.
Fair enough. For all his poetry, Tarquin was still a Union City droid. See you later, Tarquin.
Will I?
Huh? It's just a phrase.
Shall we schedule in another meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
Such ambiguity. A tortured soul. Alas, I am inspired.
Ja. Das war sicher das Mädel mit dem Rucksack.
Someone had spilt paint on the floor. The holdall was stained with paint.
Habe ich irgendwas zum Waschen? Wüsste jetzt gerade nicht. Da brauchen wir auch nichts. Was haben wir denn als Hinweis? I need to find out more about Graham. Songbird must have some answers. Ja, also müssen wir sie doch noch irgendwie ausquetschen. Vielleicht hilft's, wenn wir ihr diese eine Figur besorgen können. Vielleicht redet sie dann mit uns. Aber ich würde sagen, das probieren wir nicht mehr heute. Machen wir an dieser Stelle lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.